However, there is one thing that I think nobody can ever argue. There is nothing in the world that feels better than banging gears. What is going on, YouTube? Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Today what we're gonna be doing is a little comparison, automatic versus manual transmissions. Oh, fuck. That was an awful scrape. Manual versus automatic. Which one is better? Which one has the better drivability? Which one should you get? One of the many questions that people face when buying a new car is, what should I get, automatic or manual? Well, I think there is a lot of contributing factors to that question. There really isn't a right or a wrong answer, first off, nor is there an easy, yes, you should get a manual, or no, you should get a manual. You know, there's not a simple yes or no answer. It depends on so many different things. What are you planning on doing with the car? Is it gonna be your daily? How much do you truly enjoy driving? The activity of driving. Those are a lot of questions you need to ask yourself before getting yourself a new car. Let's start with the drivability. Now, if you want a car, if you're getting a daily driver, you want something that's really easy and simple to drive and you can just kind of hop in, go, then obviously that would be a no-brainer, automatic. Driving a manual car is a lot more of a hassle. I'm not really sure why in the car community it became so standard that if you got a sports car, you like had to get the manual option. I got a manual car as my last Mustang, so I wanted this one to be manual as well since I wanted to go to the track with it. Now, if you want a car that's super simple to get into and drive and have a good time, you're comfortable, everything is smooth, then yeah, the automatic is a no-brainer. A lot of it, though, is just that driving a manual every day is such a hassle. And I daily drove this Mustang for a year, up until about 6 months ago. And as you can see now, like no one in their right mind would want to daily this car. The manual is just a contributing factor to that irritability of driving it. If this car was still stock in its manual, I mean, it wouldn't be terrible, but during my year, I drove this car every day to work, to school, to the gym, to get groceries, to do everything. And I can't say I hated it, nor can I say I loved it. It was a fine, happy medium, just because most of the time, if I got off work after a late night, I didn't want to drive this car, you know, like, this was just a form of transportation, but I didn't really want to, like, get off and go with this car, you know, and I feel like a lot of the time when you're in a manual sports car, when you drive it, you want to have some fun, you want to do spirited driving, and that's the whole point of buying a sports car, really, is to enjoy it, to go hit some back roads, go to the track, freeway pulls, like, I don't know, it's just fun. And in automatic cars, I feel like you just lose a portion of that. I'm not saying the automatics are not fast at all, because they are lightning quick. They shift faster than you can ever shift in this. If you are looking for a drag car, for something that you just want to destroy close to everyone, automatic cars are the way to go. If you build an automatic car right, like this 2018 5.0 that I just reviewed in my last video, I'll put it right here, you guys can check it out. That car was insanely fast. However, the one thing that I didn't like about that transmission is it was amazing at going. However, when you were coming to a stop, it just had these really absurd, aggressive downshifts that I didn't ever understand. It was going up and you'd be on the freeway in 10th gear, and all of a sudden when you hit the brakes a little bit harder than average, it would downshift from 10th straight to 4th gear. Like, you're going, you hit the brakes, you know, as the driver, you are in full control of the car and you feel it. And you know, like, if you're downshifting a manual car, you know when it's coming, so your body's prepared for it. But in that car, you're just going, you hit the brakes thinking you're still in 10th gear, and all of a sudden it's like boom, and it gets you in 4th gear. The revs go through the roof. Like, it's ridiculous, and I wouldn't want to drive in that. Like, just the unpredictability about it. That is what I absolutely love about manuals, is you are in complete control of everything that happens. Every upshift, every downshift, everything is all entirely upon your driving. And I think that's why the automatics don't get as much love, because there's so many different styles of driving, and the manual just adapts to all of them, whereas the automatic is set to one, and you can't really do much about that. Next, we're gonna go into why you would want one car versus the other. A lot of cars nowadays, they're designed with intentions, which is really good on the manufacturers. You know, the GT350R, that car is built for the track. They don't offer that in an automatic transmission because it would be wrong. It's a track car. Not saying all track cars have to be manuals. Obviously, the F1 cars are all just paddle shifters. They're automatics, and that's great as well. But that, you kind of need to be to a certain level of driving in order for that to really play any effect. I, for one, love the manual on track. I mean, I would not want to have an automatic on track, just because how in tune you can be in every corner, every turn you take, whether this is on track or not. You feel it. You can just take everything exactly how you personally want to take it, which is great. And the automatics don't give you that, because it forces things upon you. And I think the automatics are just, they're made more for the people that they want to get to point A to point B, and they might want to pull every once in a while, but they're not really in it for the driving experience. They just want to drive the car and have a good time, which I am not saying anything's wrong with that. There's so many different types of car guys in the world that want different things from their car, and that's totally up to you, which is great. However, there is one thing that I think nobody can ever argue. There is nothing in the world that feels better than banging gears. And heel towing. Heel towing is one of my favorite activities in the world. There's something about manual cars that just feels right as you're driving on track or driving aggressively through the hills, whatever you might be doing. It just feels like that's what the car was made to do, and it was meant to be like that. Not driving and you press a button and it downshifts for you. Before you keyboard warriors get all trigger happy and start lighting me up in the comments, let's just remember this is my opinion, okay? You guys can have your own. I'm just saying. Another big factor that might come into play with the whole drivability thing is, if it's your daily, what kind of driving are you doing? Are you sitting in traffic the whole time? Or are you driving through some fun roads and hitting a light every now and then, hitting traffic maybe 1 or 2 days a week where it's bad, and the rest of the days you're pretty much chilling? Because I think the biggest pain of driving manual, and what people would say like, oh, driving manual sucks, it's such a pain in the ass. I mean, I guess so. It is sometimes. As long as you are ready to drive, then it's not really a big deal. But like, if you first off are not in the mood to really drive, and then you're stuck in stop and go traffic all day, there's not a single manual driving person in the world that will tell you that they enjoy stop and go traffic in their manual car, because it sucks. So, it's god awful. But the saying like different strokes for different folks totally comes into play in this conversation, and it truly is. One person can love it, one person can hate it. It's so much easier to get control an automatic car rather than a manual. And it almost becomes so much of an easier drive and everything feels smoother. It's like the engineers made the manuals for the people that really wanted it, but they truly put their effort into the automatic and making that just the best experience you could get. So I don't want any of this to sound like I'm bashing automatics, because there's plenty of cars that are fucking insane that are automatics. The GT3 RS, the GT2 RS, the Porsches, they are only automatic. They don't make them in manual, because why would you put that car in manual? Like, it's perfect. And with those, I mean, I've never driven one, as you could probably guess, but people say that that is one of the best, smartest transmissions that has ever been produced. And that car was built for the track as well. I'm not quite sure how true this is with other cars. I just know that this is definitely a fact for the Mustangs. On these new 2018 Mustangs, all the MT82 transmissions, which is the manual transmission, which is also in my Mustang, the 2017 Mustang, the MT82s have been going out like flies. Like, they are just dropping. And everyone with the automatics is busy just gapping everyone else. So I'm not sure how it is with other manufacturers and other cars that have both options, but from my experience, my transmission has already gone out. This is a fully built race transmission in my car, and with this transmission, I've had my fair share of problems, where the automatic people don't really have those same problems. They might have other problems, but as far as I've heard, nothing. They seem to be more reliable. It might not be true for some of the other cars, but as far as Mustangs, the automatics are definitely more reliable than the manuals. Of course, you can always get your transmission rebuilt, but it's just an extra step you'll have to take, whereas you can just have a bone stock auto transmission and not have the problems in the first place. In the car scene too, everyone just wants to pick on people for not having automatics. I don't get the point of that. At the end of the day, we all love cars. If your car is sick and I walk up to it and I look and see that it's an automatic, sure, I might be like, it's an automatic, but it's more of a joke than anything. I think it's just become, it's just a good meme. Like, people are gonna say whatever they want, you know, and it's like, who cares? If it makes you happy and you enjoy your car and you love driving and not having to worry about stalling while you're at a downhill slope, or miss-shifting when you're racing someone and giving that as a nice excuse, because how many times have you guys heard, bro, I missed fourth gear. Oh, you missed the gear that goes straight down? Yeah, okay. I'm just kidding. There is no right or wrong answer on what you should get or what is better. They are both amazing. It's what makes car guys. We all have our loves and hates, things that we want, things that others want, and it's what makes you unique, really. So let me know what you guys thought about today's video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and I'd love to chat about whatever. If you have any future video ideas, what you'd like me to talk about next, please let me know, because I am always looking for more content. I want to give you guys what you want. That is where we are going to end it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 1,500 by the end of the month. We're coming up very, very close, but there's going to be a lot more coming, guys. Peace out. Be sure to work more and talk less. See ya.